Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about the Amazing Race finale of season 36.
Finale time! But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdtainment.
Hello!
Hello, happy Friday, everybody.
We have a season 2 wrap up.
Yes. And yes, we are starting in the Dominican Republic.
No big surprises, I don't
I
think.
know. I was trying to hold back from being like, boring.
No, don't say it.
No.
Look, we'll have specifics
to
discuss.
Yes.
But went as we thought it probably
No
would.
real surprises. Although I will say this first half of the finale was a little more stressful than I expected it to be.
Oh, the first leg is good.
Yeah.
I was stressed. I was like,
really only because of one moment with one team.
I mean, but that'll do it.
That'll do it, because we're starting off, we're like on a boat in the Dominican Republic. They have to swim out to a clue.
This was fun.
Yeah.
On a boat swimming.
You're in the ocean. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They get back. It's a detour. They're either going to dive to the bottom of the ocean or they're going to make drinks, and we will never know what's at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, we will. Nobody
did that. They said, we're all going to the bar.
Why would they? Tell me why. Like,
let me tell you who would be at the bar.
Hello.
We'd be making those drinks.
Want us to make drinks? We will be in first place so fast with that task.
100%.
That's our specialty.
Yes.
Hello. Yes, winners.
Our winners. Congrats, guys.
Congrats. My goodness. Yeah, no, I mean, for television's sake, the other one sounded interesting.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see it.
No. Everybody's going.
Let's go drink some.
We're gonna do the booze.
Yes.
The boyfriends and NFL are off to this first.
Yeah.
And then the military and the nurses are, following them. Ricky and Cesar are so good. They make 7 drinks without even realizing it.
Don't even realize they did too many.
And they're still in first.
And it doesn't matter whatsoever.
Yeah.
Their race is fine.
Yes. So they're out first. Team NFL is out second. It doesn't seem that hard, this challenge. But it is like...
Let me tell you why it's not that hard. There's nothing to do but make a drink.
And there are literal instructions there. It's not like you look at the instructions and you have to memorize them and then go and find the right glass. The instructions are literally right there in front of you.
Yeah, what happened to the task where it's like, I'm going to tell you the instructions for a pina colada.
Yeah.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
And now you have to go run off, find the ingredients, and make a pina colada.
Yep.
Remember those days?
Right.
What happened?
Right. Or like imagine I'm finding out the ingredients. I have to run back, tell you the ingredients, and then you have to figure out what the ingredients are.
Yes.
Right. And find the right glass. That's a little more difficult. This is just, there's a nice recipe with pictures right there for you.
Look, do it, whatever. That's the task. So they're making the drinks in and out, easy peasy.
In and out. The one thing I notice of these 4 teams that's a little off is that Vinny seems surprisingly low energy. And I have to wonder if he was just a bit distracted by some big plan that he had.
Yep. I think that's exactly. I think you hit that one on.
No, he was not really paying attention when they get to the bar. Amber's like, hello, honey, where are you?
And he's like, I don't know. What's a line?
What is so you put the rum in the coconut?
First off, they stop, right? They're not even running to the place because who are they paired with? The pilots?
Yeah, military pilots. Oh, yeah, they're walking.
Pilots are asking for directions and they're like, let's just see.
Let's just see. And Amber's like, are we just
going to wait? Yes, apparently you're going to wait. And then you're when I talked to them in their interview, I was like, did you just make a drink in the wrong glass? And she was like, no, we made so many mistakes. Oh. Then he was like, it was supposed to be pineapple juice. I put in mango juice. They made it sound like they made a ton of mistakes in this challenge that we just said was so easy.
Apparently they had a hard time with it. Everybody else seemed to do fine.
Yes.
So the boyfriends and Team NFL are on their way to the roadblock. And on the way to the roadblock, Rod is pointing out, I've done all that I can do. And now it's on Leticia.
That's right. We were looking forward to this.
Yes.
It's not going to go as disastrously.
No, she does quite well at this windsurfing thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's our next roadblock, right? Who wants to take a stand?
Yeah. They have to stand on.
Ricky does not.
No, he doesn't. He'd rather fall in the water.
He would not
He wants to go swimming.
He would like to do anything but windsurfing.
Leticia has really not that much trouble with it. It's like one bonk on the head. She might still be recovering from a concussion. Who knows?
She had a concussion, and then she was like, I ain't going to fall again. I'm going to do this right now.
I learned my lesson. So she, I think on her second attempt, stands for a full minute on that thing. Makes it look easy.
Right.
Ricky, meanwhile,
he did not make it look easy.
He did not. He made it actually look hard.
He did. It was confusing. People on Twitter were like, is it hard? Is it easy? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Because I'm not going to ever win.
Except that 3 people did not have a hard time with it. And Ricky did.
Look.
Those are just the facts.
Every single episode, Ricky and Cesar showed up and said, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that before.
Yep.
Except
this
for
was the one time.
The one thing.
Where neither of them said, I grew up windsurfing.
Nope.
They weren't.
No.
So, and it did look like, I'm actually surprised that the other 3 had such an easy time with this because the water was pretty choppy. And
yeah, it looked a little windy. It looked a little choppy. And I feel like if you just don't have, I have no arm strength. I probably wouldn't have even been able to lift up that sail. And then I think you probably have to have some sort of core or back strength.
And it's what I noticed, and I wasn't there, so who knows?
Who knows?
But what I noticed is Leticia, Vinny, was it Juan who was doing it?
Yeah.
They're in a deep squat.
Yeah.
Balancing. And Ricky seemed to be in a little less of a deep squat. So maybe that just sort of threw off the center of balance, wasn't as stable. Whatever it was, Ricky is struggling and
so we're gonna see Leticia post concussion. She gets out.
They're on their way. Then we go back to the detour.
Yeah.
And we see military finish the drinks, and then Amber and Vinny finish the drinks. Despite all of these mistakes that they claim to have made, they don't overly highlight those. We just see them get through it, but they are in last place, Vinny and Amber.
So they're going to show up, and they're each going to be like, oh, Ricky and Cesar are still here?
Well, that's because Ricky's on his 15th attempt when Juan gets there.
Now, this is when this episode gets stressful.
I don't think Ricky was there for that long because each of his attempts lasted about 5 seconds.
Sure.
So, I don't think it was like he was there for 30 minutes at this point, like maybe 10 to 15.
Well, I think they say eventually it was like 30 minutes, 20 to total. In total.
Yeah.
But like when you see 21 tries, like I'm concerned.
And every time, like it's a lot. You're falling. You're having to climb back on the board. You're going again. Like you're just getting more and more tired every time you fail.
I can't imagine.
Cesar is.
Hold on. Can you guys hear us? My microphone's not even set up.
Oh yeah.
Also, we didn't roast David's shirt. Is it?
I know. It might be moving. I wore it for you.
Hey.
Because I know you guys love when my shirts warp.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I guess it's not that bad. No one said anything.
But
I bet you guys can hear us now.
Hey, that's better. So anyway, Cesar is very supportive. He's like, Ricky, I love you. He's doing his best. He's really trying.
Of course, yes.
They're the hallmark of this team all season was their positivity, especially when it came to each other. And that stands in stark contrast to some other teams in this race. But Juan gets started, right? Ricky's on his umpteenth attempt.
Yes.
Then we cut to Vinny and Amber in the car.
Yeah.
And this is Vinny. Looking out the window.
He's got big plans coming up.
Oh boy, he is stressed about something, and it is
not
this leg of it. It's not this leg of the race
that
he's stressed about.
Nothing to do with this race.
And Amber's like, when he's not in a good spot, we are not in a good spot. Like, I don't feel good about this leg of the race because I don't know where this guy is.
And he's like, just
I'm
wait.
Just deciding if I'm actually going to propose.
No, he's not. He's doing it. He's doing it.
Well, he's going to do this roadblock because he used to surf. So he's going to get on there, and we're going to see Juan finish. And as he finishes, Cesar is increasing the volume in his cheering for Ricky, which I'm like, good for you. Like, keep that man on track. Like, let him know that you're there and you love him and you're supporting him. Like, yes, that's all you can really do. So I'm glad you're doing that. Ricky falls again with 12 seconds left on the clock.
Oh my gosh. So stressful.
I'm like, the man is so tired.
I am so concerned at this point. I was like, this is it. This is Justin's taxi. This is going not the way.
Well, because I'm assuming Vinny's not going to have a hard time with this.
No. And we're going to see that. Like everyone sort of like heads out there, pops up, takes a couple tries, and gets it. But just in the nick of time.
I think it was the 22nd attempt. Over 21.
Yes, it was over 21. That's all we know. I didn't ask. Guys, was it more than 21? I mean, it was more than 25,
if you remember.
30.
Yeah. But he finally gets it.
I
was like clawing in my own legs. Like, please let him make it this time. Please. Like every second. I was like,
Bill going to meet them at the windsurfing? I was terrified.
He like sails over on a windsurfing thing. Like, I've just been windsurfing over here for 15 minutes. He pulls up in his yacht. Yeah.
He's like, I'm done. I'm going to yacht over to where you're windsurfing.
22 attempts, they say. So
22. Okay.
Just one more.
22.
But he gets it. And then Vinny gets it. So
we're off to, we're like getting clues and moving around, but we're basically headed towards the pit stop.
Right. We don't realize it yet because they're like, go here to find your next clue.
Yeah.
But that's then going to put them in a dune buggy that takes them to a kayak that takes them to the pit stop.
Which this is so fun. I want to ride in a dune buggy.
Me
and
too.
I want to kayak over to see Phil. This is very fun.
But none of these things at this point are tasks where you really overtake somebody.
Exactly. Once I realized that, then I was relieved.
Yeah. Okay. Because you're like, at least they're in front of Amber and Vinny.
Yes. Yeah. Because once Ricky and Cesar got in their dune buggy, I was like, there's no way Amber and Vinny can take this. Right. Not like we're racing under a bridge and they went over and they got
100%. 100%. We see Ricky losing it in the car. He's like, this is the most stressed I've been the entire race. And I'm like, I totally get it.
When he came off of the water and the guy's like, good job. He was like, nope.
He's like, I have no energy for
He was like, I will not talk to you. Do not talk to me.
I don't want to see a windsurfing apparatus for as long as I live. I'm sure that's how he's feeling. So he's happy to get out of there. The nurses are getting in their taxi and they're like, the boyfriends have a weakness. Like they're excited, but little do they know.
You can't pass them.
You're not going to be able to pass them. So we see like Team NFL, they're getting in their dune buggy. They actually, I think, are the only team that like flipped the kayak. But of course, Rada's like, and he just slips it right back over and puts his wife in it.
That's fun.
But they get there first. Team
they
NFL.
Had a great leg.
Great leg.
Rod and Leticia killed this. It looked like they were having fun.
Props to Leticia too.
100%.
It's really what she did on the windsurfing thing.
Yes.
That put them in first place. So good for her.
Yes, absolutely. They're having the time of their lives getting over to Phil on the mat. First place. In the penultimate leg. And they win a trip to Rome.
To Rome. Expedia cash to go to Rome.
I love it.
So good for them. I mean, it's kind of a nice little bookend for them. They finished the first two legs in Mexico in first place, and now they're first place again. I think they were almost to the end.
Almost a bookend.
Almost a bookend. That one book fall off because it's not. There's no bookend on it. But good for them. And they were in. They've done great this whole race. So then military is second. It's just the order: military, boyfriends, Amber and Vinny. It is quite close. Phil's wrapping his interview with Ricky and Cesar as Amber and Vinny are kayaking up.
And now we're going to find out why Vinny's head was not in the game.
Turns out.
The
man is ready to get on one knee after all that.
All of that. That man had a ring this whole time.
Yeah. You talked about it in your exit interview, right?
I did, because I was like, oh, wait, what?
I would have been like, question number one.
This is why David doesn't do the interviews.
Now is the moment?
Look, okay, let's break it down. First off, I was shocked. I know people were like joking, are they gonna propose on the race? But I thought that was a joke. Like,
me too.
Of course they weren't gonna propose on the race. That's absurd. They're barely getting along. I was absolutely shocked. But I think if you bought the ring before you went on the race, and in your head you were going to propose on television,
then you're going to propose on television.
Then you're going to propose on television. And it doesn't matter if you fought the whole time. Because at the end of the day, they said, I love you.
Yeah.
Please don't fight with me again, but I love you.
They did.
They said that every day.
And then they still fought.
Then he proposed.
Then he did. Good for them. They're engaged. Are they married now?
Go a little higher with your pitch, David.
They're engaged.
Look at
so much.
You're
yes, I'm happy for them. No, they are engaged. Are they married?
No, they're still engaged.
Oh, it's a long engagement.
Well, let's not rush anybody into anything.
I'm sorry, I'm being rude.
Take your time, guys. Keep going to therapy. Do your work. Really think about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think there's a comment we should highlight from Sylvia R. Congratulations, David.
Oh, yeah, let's just jump right to that.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You're jumping the gun.
Last week?
No, we're going to do it again.
Okay.
Because we got the final point. But goodbye to Amber and Vinny at this point in the race. No non-elimination leg. So we have our final 3.
Yeah.
And we are headed to Philadelphia. I was like, Phil is not a corny person, but I was like, you really could have done something with Philadelphia. Do you know what I mean?
I did not think
but
about it.
That's not Phil's style of humor.
No,
he doesn't
no.
do that.
Mm-mm.
I do.
Okay.
But we're going to Philly, and they have to go to Lincoln Financial Field. I'm literally reading this off my notes because I'm like, what is this? Sports?
Look, I don't follow any Philly teams, but I know they have them, and they know that they're very big about important. Their teams. Yep.
How, on a scale of 0 to not surprised at all,
okay,
how surprised were you that Ricky was born and raised in Philadelphia? I was like, okay. I was this surprised. Point, did the producers plot this race to purely benefit Ricky and Cesar?
Like, it was like, so the editors were like, "Do we add it in?" Yeah. It was just like so sly. It was like, I actually grew up right over here.
Of course you grew up.
What? Here. You grew up over here?
He's like, literally, we're gonna pass my childhood.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Look, production works on building the whole schedule.
Yeah.
While casting brings in their teams.
Yeah.
So it's not like they said, oh, we can't bring in anyone from Philly because we end there.
We're going to do a whole season in Spanish-speaking countries and then end in Philadelphia. Half of this team raised in Mexico. The other half raised in Philadelphia. I wonder how this is going to turn out.
Perfect team for this entire race.
It's so funny.
I don't want to take anything away from Ricky and Cesar, though, because there were other teams that spoke Spanish.
100%. Juan and Shane being one of them.
Dominate the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, so anyway, we're going to the stadium. It's like a mascot situation where they're going to dress up in an amazing race mascot costume, which I actually thought those were quite funny and
that's
fun.
Amazing. I love it. Yeah. I used to be in one of those big costumes at Universal Studios.
Excuse me?
Wait, you don't know this?
I need you to elaborate.
No, not like a sports mascot, but you know, at Universal Studios they have the big characters.
Which one were you?
I was the girl from I was Dora the Explorer.
No, you were not.
I was.
No, you were not.
No, I wasn't even. I was Diego, her cousin.
Diego the Explorer.
Diego, because I was too tall. I'm 5'4". And
how tall is Dora?
They put me in. She was shorter.
Like 5 foot?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Most of the characters are like 5 foot. I was tall for all of them.
Wow.
So I remember this was a while ago, guys.
Yeah.
I had to go through the characters. I was also the Rugrat. Who's the girl with the braids? The
Angelica?
Yeah. I was also her, but like I did her one time and then I was just Diego.
Yeah.
But anyway,
wow.
So I was nostalgic when they were in the costume.
Yeah. They're like running through like a step ladder situation, jumping through a hoop, and then they have to fire like a tennis ball cannon.
Leticia.
That woman has never held a gun in her life.
She's
firing them all up all over the place. She's literally like, did it go off again?
She like loads her gun and it drops off. I was like, this is a spoof.
But they're all there together. Like, despite the fact that, you know, Ricky was like, I know every street in the city.
No, they all seem to get
They all get to the field fairly easily. But Ricky is done first.
Yes, because he's been a mascot. In high school, he was a sports mascot. Y'all. Of course he was.
Duh. So he's done first. Then Leticia's there misfiring, but she does get out second because she takes 8 attempts to get the target with the ball.
Yeah.
She figured it out. Juan and Shane are not far behind them.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight race, and that's going to be characteristic of this entire leg.
Even though what's about to happen happens.
Yeah.
It is a tight race. It's a tight race right now. And then Juan and Shane decide to cross state lines.
Let's go to New Jersey.
Let's go to New Jersey.
We were not born and raised in Philadelphia, so we're not supposed to be here. Let's go to Jersey.
Right? We don't even know that it's cheesesteaks.
Well, here's the problem. And I'm actually shocked that they found one person in Philadelphia who didn't know that Pat's and Gino's were cheesesteak places and said they were pizza places.
Right.
Those are literally Philadelphia institutions.
Right.
I know about them because I have like a friend from Philly from college, but like it's kind of the number one thing in Philadelphia. The fact that they're like catty corner from each other. It's a huge rivalry. So I'm just like, how did they find the one man?
The one man
who told them it was a pizza place?
Yeah, he was like, he'd heard of them, obviously. He knew they were rival somethings.
Yeah.
But didn't know that he lived in Philly where everything's just cheesesteak. Like, of course, it's not pizza.
No.
It's Philly. It's not. Okay. But to be fair, Juan and Shane, Kathy, one of our patrons, who is not here right now, doesn't seem like, but she lives in Jersey.
Yeah.
And
I saw that in the Discord.
Yeah, she mapped their route, and it was like 45 minutes out of the way.
Y'all, she was like, I don't know how they didn't realize that they were in another state.
Yes. She posted that in our Discord, and I was like, whoa, that was just like, they were just.
But they're like looking at Pat's Dry Cleaners or something. They're like, or a steakhouse, something like that. But then they walk into a convenience store and they're like, where's Pat's and Gino's? And they're like, that's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they're like those famous places we know. It's not here.
It's not here. Someone in Jersey had to tell them. So that was a huge bummer. And I do wonder what might be different.
Absolutely.
If that hadn't happened.
Oh my goodness. There were so many people being like, rigged. Oh my God, Ricky and Cesar. He's from Philly, so he won. I was like, no, if these guys hadn't gone across the state lines, this would have been so close.
Could have been a very different race because they got second, and they were probably 45 minutes out of the way.
Yes.
So that's a huge bummer for them, but it's just to pick up a clue at Pat's and Gino's, right? And then they're like racing to now Head House, which is where they have to recite the preamble to the Declaration of Independence.
Head House?
Never heard of it. Head House Square.
Wasn't that Betsy? What's her name? Betsy Ross?
No, that was next. Okay, so it's Head House Square, and then it was Betsy Ross House.
Just kidding.
Lots of houses that they're going to.
It was very America.
Very, very Americana. So they get to this place where they have to memorize the preamble, and Cesar is stressed about memorizing English. He's basically like, this entire race, I've been operating in my first language.
Yes.
And now I have to memorize English. He's not even the one who has the problem. Ricky's the one with the problem. I did love
Ricky. One word.
They like messed it up, and Ricky's like, I think it was you.
Yeah. I think so too. I bet it was you. Oh, whoops. I forgot a 2.
I forgot a 2. Yeah. Because it's not the tricky thing about this is it's like old English. Like we don't really talk like that anymore.
No, not at all. Look, 2 people who grew up in America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the Declaration of Independence. No. We barely learn it.
Memorize that?
No, we don't have to memorize the whole thing. And yeah, that's not language we speak anymore. And even though I'm very good at memorizing, I would think I would struggle at this.
Yeah.
Because it just, how do you put context?
It's a different order of words. Yeah. I mean, I loved Ricky's suggestion to Cesar, like act it out. So that you have like, you can cue yourself through like the physicality of it all kind of a thing. Like that was very sweet. I also love that Ricky is such a theater kid.
Love it.
He gets up there to recite it and he's like, fourscore and 7. I mean, that's the Emancipation Proclamation, but you know what I'm saying.
Like, America, the beautiful.
Life, liberty. And the pursuit of happiness, like he's so enunciating it so carefully. And I'm like, yes, theater training. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so they're going to do just fine.
Yeah.
Rod and Leticia.
Rod is not going to do just fine.
They're going to have a little harder.
Yeah.
A little bit of harder time here. And I think this is probably Juan and Shane's saving grace.
For changing their placement in the race. Yeah.
Rod is going to really struggle.
I mean, what I love though is Rod's attitude about it. He is clearly such a he's
so competitive.
He's such a competitor. And like, I'm going to get frustrated, but I'm not going to let it totally derail me. I'm going to walk it off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over here and I'm going to figure it out. And he's not like, there's no suggestion ever that he's giving up or is feeling like I can't do this. He's just frustrated at how difficult it is for him. And he's like, I played football with one too many concussions.
He's probably right. American football is not safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has to do his little athlete, let's walk it off. Let's like yell it out a little bit. But then he like comes back and he gets it.
Eventually.
He's going to nail it.
I mean, Ricky and Cesar get it on their second attempt.
Yeah.
Huzzah, right?
Huzzah!
All of these old-timey recreation actors are so corny, and I love every single one of them. Huzzah to you! And then hands in the clue. And then the Betsy Ross house, it's even more delicious.
Oh my God.
They are committed to the bit.
I wanted to be that woman so bad.
Oh.
And she was like, I said 5 stars was a better, and he agreed to me. I was like, I want your job.
The opportunity to play George Washington and say, North Carolina is above South Carolina on the map, but on the flag, it sits 4 below. I'm like, yes. Memorize that. Actually.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know how long that took, man.
Such actors.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see the military pilots. They get the clue at Pat's and Gino's. They're back on track, right? So now we are seeing Cesar arrive to Betsy Ross' house first. He is the one who's going to do this roadblock. And again, he's like, I am Mexican. I didn't learn U.S. history.
We didn't either. We are American. We did not learn it either.
I don't know the order that they are on the flag.
I remember learning the colonies.
Yes,
and I learned Delaware.
Yep.
Because I thought it was a plate
first.
like
Delaware, like plateware, glassware.
Yeah. And Pennsylvania, because you stick a pencil in the plate, and then that's it. That's as far as I got. That's how my brain worked.
I might be able to tell you all 13 colonies with a gun to my head. Might.
I feel like I'd be more stressed with the guns in my head. Let's casually just talk about it.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm going to get Rhode Island.
No,
you know what I mean?
I
don't think Maine is one. I think that was later on.
Surprised the Carolinas were
Georgia
13.
Like, I think I might make a mistake.
Yes,
but
sure.
It's purposefully complicated. He has to go to multiple people to connect all the dots of the story. Betsy Ross is there, waxing poetic about God knows what. The only thing you need to take from her is that it's 5-pointed stars, but she's telling you a whole story to get there.
Telling you a whole story to get to those 5-pointed stars. I honestly enjoyed that it was more of a puzzle.
Yeah,
like
me too.
This is above that because honestly, this was difficult. We're gonna talk about how easy this entire finale was, but like this actually was complicated.
This is tricky. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, the memorization of the preamble was tricky, as we've said, for Rod and Leticia. So that hung them up. They are finishing now the preamble as military pilots arrive. So now those two teams are,
yes,
the gap is narrowing.
Right. Juan and Shane are back in it at this point.
Yeah.
And it does seem like Cesar has to go back and forth. Like he has to learn hear it again, try some things, learn it again. Like he's going to get it, but it does seem like he goes back and forth a little bit.
To the point where they have completed it and are leaving as NFL arrives.
Yes.
So it's a close leg.
We're getting close.
Even though in the end, the order is kind of what I think most people would have predicted.
Right.
So the boyfriends are off. Now it's Leticia rubbing her temples as these old white men recite state names and Old English.
She's like, no. What we're going to see, because I was like, what is the holdup here, Leticia? She's not hearing 13 stars. And now that I don't get because there were 13 snaps.
Wouldn't you just fill them up?
And she's also not hearing the 5 points. So I don't think she heard anything, honestly, that this woman was saying.
I think she just was like, can you shut up and let me go do this?
Because we saw her in the edit go, oh, okay, and walk off.
She's like, oh, I got it.
And then a good 3 times later, she's like, oh, 5 on the stars.
Oh,
5.
Not 5 stars.
Yeah, not 5 stars.
5 points on the stars. And it's like the dum-dum-dum on the Amazing Race cue,
and then she was like, oh, and I should fill up 13 of them.
Like it's just a lot of mistakes.
Yikes. Okay.
But I also love that, like the way you put this flag together is you zip it up. That was kind of fun.
Oh, that was. It was cute.
You zip the pieces of the flag together.
Like,
that was quite cute.
Snap. Very, very cute.
So Leticia is kind of struggling. We're seeing Juan and Shane finish the recitation of the preamble. I did love the first time they go through. Juan's like, boopity bit bit and like gets it. And then Shane's like,
are you kidding me?
He's like, line.
Like, didn't even know his first line.
He's like, gotta do that one more time.
Yeah. One more time.
And Juan's like, seriously? Okay.
Juan was like, here I go.
Yeah.
Shane was like, I got nothing. No.
Yeah, but they eventually get it. Now the boyfriends are arriving to the final task in this leg of the race and this leg of the entire race, which is constructing a 3D puzzle of the Liberty
It's a
Bell.
puzzle, David. Just say it. It's a
puzzle, which we know they're going to do great at.
I was like, wait, where are all the places that they visited before? Where's the flags?
Right.
Is it written on the Liberty Bell here?
Uh-huh. Some sort of memorization of every task that you've had to do. No, it's a 3D puzzle.
It's just a puzzle?
Yeah.
This is where I was like, come on.
Yeah.
But okay, that flag was complicated. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised Ricky and Cesar weren't like, oh, this is the 3D puzzle that we designed.
I printed this at home.
I printed this.
I have it in my backyard.
Let's put it together.
I know this one. Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of a simple.
It's just a puzzle. So you're like, okay, well, I don't think the order is going to swap here. I think we're good to go at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it is at the flag. The boyfriends are going to start putting the puzzle together. We go back to the Betsy Ross house. Leticia, she's messing up the stars. She's kind of figuring it out. Yeah. Juan passes her. So now the military pilots are in second place because he gets through that flag while she's still working on it.
Let me tell you, Juan showed up and was like, you want me to put a flag together?
It would be my honor.
It is an honor, sir. Tell me.
I mean, they're from the military. Like,
oh my God.
This is their stuff.
This is.
They love America.
They do.
So he was like, this is.
I was like, they ain't faking it. They're really in the military.
For real.
For real.
For real. For real. So great for them to, pass at this stage of the final leg. The boyfriends, they're done with the puzzle.
Oh, sure.
They just finish it. There's no hiccups. There's no this piece is wrong. They put the thing together and they hang it up and they're done.
Yeah.
Now we're going to race to the finish line.
Okay.
So the military now is working on the puzzle. NFL is showing up. Military is finishing the puzzle. And we're going to get this edit where these producers are going to try to make us believe that Ricky and Cesar are lost.
You tried me? Nope.
No, ma'am.
I wrote in all caps, police, with this edit. Oh, no.
Oh,
they might be lost in Philadelphia.
They asked for directions.
They were never lost outside of the country. I don't buy it now.
I know. I was just like, okay.
Plus, they had like an hour to stop and ask for directions.
Exactly.
So, sure.
It's all good. It's a sweet finish to the race, but it's not especially tense. And
that's fine.
It's fine. The boyfriends won.
They won.
It is what we expected all along.
It's what we wanted.
I think they might have broken a record for how many first place finishes in a season.
Wait, did you guys or did you tie? They have 7 wins
out of 10. And for 2 of those other 3, they were in second.
The most stressed we ever were was them finishing third. Okay. That's such a good record.
It's such an amazing record. I mean, truly, like track record wise, one of the strongest teams we've ever seen.
They tied.
And tied the record. Lowest average. What does that mean?
Like first places.
Oh, lowest like average. 1 is low.
Yeah, 1 is low.
Makes total sense.
You get it.
Yep.
You understand that.
They truly were one of the most dominant teams we've ever seen. But I have to say, they were incredibly well-rounded as a team. They were good at puzzles. They were good at performing. They were good at directions. Like the windsurfing was the only thing they weren't good at.
They were good at knowing just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good at staying positive.
Oh my God.
Like that's a great dynamic. Yeah.
people who want to see fights and want to see people struggle, like, I don't get you.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I want to see people excel. I want to see people do really well and support each other, even when you're stressed.
Yep.
That's what I want to see. And we saw it all season. And so,
so good.
I was slightly worried that they were not going to win. And I'd be like, it was a good season until they didn't win.
The best team didn't win.
Right.
They were, no question, the best team of the season.
Right.
So I'm glad they won. They deserve it.
And Juan
I
and
wish
Shane
they would
were
get
no
married.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all getting
Come on.
We don't pressure people. You do you.
Well, a little bit.
Oh, David does.
I just think you guys are great together. So what's going on?
Well,
You're in the chat. Tell me what's going on. Why are you not married?
They are going to start a family though. So
I love that.
Yeah, they
Congrats.
talked about it in our video a little bit. They're going to work towards that. So marriage or not.
Yeah. Okay. Enough with the average scores.
It's
You're avoiding the question.
They're starting a family.
All right.
Juan and Shane are no slouches, is what I wanted to say.
100%.
I mean, Ricky and Cesar just like blew it away, but any other season, Juan and Shane probably would have.
Yeah.
So it was fun that there was a little bit of competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rod and Leticia, top 5 the entire season. Juan and Shane dropped out of the top 5, one of the legs. Rod and Leticia never did. Top 5 all the way through.
That's right.
And I, more than anyone, saw the potential in these 3 teams.
Oh, Lord.
I need to retire from drafts because I will never do as well as I did this season.
You had one
I got so
draft,
lucky.
David. One good draft.
I beat Sarah by
handedly
120 points.
Yes.
What? And
honestly, it was like halfway through the season when you beat both me.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
I know. Amber and Vinny was like the only high scoring team that I didn't draft, basically. Like I got incredibly lucky on this draft.
I believe like the first 4 teams were all mine. So I was out immediately. I don't know what happened. But whatever. Still a fun season no matter what.
It was.
He threw a yet in there. TBD.
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited that Juan and Shane came in second. I feel like they were the top 2 teams. So happy about that.
I agree.
Rod and Leticia are going to come in third.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Rod had fun and I think Leticia had fun sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
I sort of like questioned her like true commitment to like winning the race. I think she was kind of there for fun.
Yeah, I think she was there along.
And I think they definitely got recruited. Like, look, Rod is a former NFL player. Like the producers look for that kind of thing. Those people aren't necessarily like making videos on their own time to apply to the Amazing Race. Like they definitely got recruited, but they were a great team.
Juan and Shane got recruited too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, they were great too.
But not Ricky and Cesar.
True fans.
Yep. That's right.
Well, fun season.
It was. Look, you guys, I want to remind, because there are definitely haters out there.
Oh, yeah.
And like we said, some of these tasks were a little easier than they needed to be. But this was a COVID season.
Yeah.
And remember back in those days when a lot of television was not happening?
Yeah.
Amazing Race made it happen.
They got back
and
on the road.
So it wasn't going to be quite what we're all used to.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to just be grateful that we had the season.
Yeah.
Especially with this cast.
The
cast was on fire. My only complaints are on production side.
Yeah. But this is the last of those COVID seasons. Now we're back to normal. I did see recently that Amazing Race 37 is coming.
It is. We have to wait a year, guys.
Yeah.
Next spring.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But you know what can happen in between then? We're going to do rewatches of old seasons.
Oh, boy. If y'all don't join the Patreon.
Did you see that segue I just did?
That was so... I'm blown away.
Right?
Yeah. I'm like having to recenter myself.
Yeah, right?
But we are going to do a rewatch of a Survivor and an Amazing Race, I think. We're doing polls on both, right?
Yeah, we are.
So that is what this summer is all about, because we are not going to do Big Brother this summer.
No, we are not.
And we're going to focus on Survivor and Amazing Race rewatches. You can join us for as little as $1 a month.
$1.
Come on. You're not even going to notice that. I don't even have to tell you to not buy one coffee. Like, don't buy a third of a coffee. A fifth of a coffee.
It's like not even like a pack of gum. I'm trying to think what costs $1 these days.
It's like a 1-800 call in like 1999.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. It is so cheap to join the Patreon. And join us because we're going to do these rewatches. I love the rewatches because it gives me an opportunity. I got into these shows like, 10 years ago now? Let's not talk about it. That makes me feel old.
Oh,
but
you're so old.
There are so many seasons of these shows that I have not seen. And I get to watch these seasons for the first time with you, and it's super fun. So I wish you guys would all join us.
Yeah, we're going to have fun with that. That's happening over on our Patreon. So check out the polls over there.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's it. This season was great.
Yep.
We loved it. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Yes.
All season long.
And the teams that came to visit us this season. Ricky and
my God.
I mean, now we know why you were so active in the chat, but like you had something to be a reason to be excited. But we had Danny and Angie stop through. We had
apparently Juan and Shane have been watching us.
Oh, shut up.
No, they told me that, and I was like literally nervous because I didn't.
And you're like, what did we say?
I was like, oh no, I've been nice, haven't I? Yeah, we've had a lot of the teams watching and up in our chats and comments, and we really appreciate that. My interview with Ricky and Cesar is out. It's an amazing. Had such a great chat with them. Please check that out, as well as Amber and Vinny is up. My conversation with Juan and Shane did happen, but I had tech issues, and so the edit is taking a little bit longer, but I will have that to you guys tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow. And Rod and Leticia are scheduled for Monday. So that is what's happening with those interviews.
Amazing.
They're also here because we were like fawning over
because we love them.
We love them. We can't help it when we get excited about a team. Yes. It's amazing. Okay, yes, you guys in the chat, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes, and if you're joining us later, let us know all of your thoughts on this finale, from Amber and Vinny's proposal to, Rod's messing up of the preamble, to Ricky and Cesar sailing to the first place finish. All of the above. Let us know what you thought about this season, and we're excited for the rewatches with y'all.
Yay! Wait, was Angie here
Sarah's
today?
Distracted.
Or I'm sorry, I
Sarah's
just want to make sure.
These comments.
I didn't miss a comment. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed.
Angie, we love you.
We love you, Angie. Yes, that was it. Okay, great. Bye. Have a good weekend.